All right, good morning, folks. Welcome to JR's Lab at home. I'm hearing an echo on my output, so I'm just going to get rid of that earpiece. As I said, welcome to JR's Lab at home edition. Today we are going to be taking a look at the brand new iPhone SE. We're going to be connecting it to the Celona network and just doing a quick speed test. This newest phone from Apple, probably one of the most important phones of the year for enterprise CBRS. It has CBRS enabled built in, as per all the iPhone 11s and the latest iPad Pros. So the big difference with this one is that not only is it a sub $500 handset, it is a $400 handset, and once you take any enterprise discount off, it's lower than that. So we can see enterprises really taking on these handsets and seeing how they work in the network. So without further ado, let's just switch here. You can see it's in default mode, a little bit of battery. Usual scenario, it comes from the factory from Apple. Let's just zoom out a little bit. So let's go through the setup. I'll take all this plastic off. Some of you may have wanted me to do that much slower. So I'm being prompted to set it up using one of my other Apple devices on the network, so we're just going to do that. Do a scan over here. You'll see I've got the wait for your iPad situation. Where is it? There you go. Hold your new iPhone up to the camera. Done. All right. So it's got that bit. You'd have seen there that I'm using an application called Cinemaker, which allows me to do multicam streaming. It's pretty cool like that, allows you to do all those things very quickly. Let's just get rid of that. Oh, and because I'm using Cinemaker, it's not allowing me to change my camera angle at the minute. So, because it's locked the screen of my iPad. But you can see, I hold it up, see, it is doing its little bit of setup. So we'll let that carry on. So what are some of the use cases we see for the iPhone SE? I mean, at sub $400, if you're in a logistics environment, you need a scanner. You could pay $2,500 for something from Zebra, or I've seen cradles out there that you just slot the iPhone into. And even the sort of top of the line industrial units are sort of $800 to $1,000. So you're still coming out way ahead using this as the basis for the setup of the phone. I'm just going through at the moment. It's asking me to do some fingerprint setup, so I'm just doing that. And yeah, okay, we'll do these. I'm getting pretty good at doing the fingerprint setup. I'll get that through, done, continue. I think we should be able to skip the rest. Still happening. So yeah, in a logistics environment, that connected to CBRS, you're going to be able to get very low latency. CBRS is going to perform much better in a warehouse logistics environment in comparison to Wi-Fi, just purely because of the way that the LTE-based system works. You know, it uses co-channel rather than being negatively affected by it. Coverage is much greater. From a single AP, you're going to be getting 10,000 square feet. So this is going to be a really important device in that space, definitely. The other areas, I mean, healthcare. If you can give these devices to your healthcare staff, wherever they may be, you're going to be able to give them guaranteed communication throughout your environment with very low density deployment of CBRS APs in comparison to Wi-Fi, and they're going to get a much better service. Let's just switch back. Where are we? Okay, lots of Continue. This is all the fun bit of doing the phone setup, right? Just waiting for all of these things. So we'll set that up later in the wallet. But yeah, going back to healthcare, I mean, prescription, patient notes, location data, all kinds of things are going to be able to be used with this device, with this iPhone. And yes, that's the one I want. Continue, get started. Finally, we're at the point where we can connect it to something. Now, it's picked up the, let's just see if you can see. It's picked up my Wi-Fi. So we'll go ahead and we'll, I'm going to do something, so hopefully you'll be able to see what's going on with the phone as I'm doing it. So let's just go to App Store. We'll pop Cinemaker on there, because I should be able to do Cinemaker. Can I do it from the screen? Actually, no, we won't do it that way, because I can't capture the actual live stream from that of the screen. So let's just do, for now, we'll disconnect this from the Wi-Fi so that you can see the Wi-Fi is enabled there. We'll turn that off. No service, no settings at all, and I haven't applied any cellular information settings to the device. So let's just pop open the SIM slot. We will drop the SIM in there. You'd think I'd be much quicker at this bit, having done so many over the past few weeks. But good old fat fingers. Right. So, SIM in. And you will see almost instantly we're registered on Celona LTE. So let's go and do, you can see I've got everything there. So Celona LTE, we'll now go to the App Store. We'll quickly download nperf. Do that. And this, my CBRS network here in the lab at home is a single AP. I'm generally getting, depending on how I set it up, I can get easily around the whole of our apartment complex with coverage to my devices. I've even managed to configure it so I can get about 800 feet away outside. So it's the coverage is really incredible considering this is an indoor AP. So okay, so we're going to do just a web speed test. We won't do the browsing or the full test that nperf offer. If you haven't used nperf before, I highly recommend it. It's an excellent test. So we're testing here now to the internet, and you can see we're pulling upper end of the 70s, so 78.7 was the average there, and upload we're looking at about 5. So we're using config 1, which more download than upload. And you can see we had a pretty good result, 78.7 down and 5.3 up. So all in all, a good test. And what did we have to do to get the phone onto the Celona CBRS network? We put a SIM in it. That's it. That is all you have to do. There are some additional settings. So if you wanted to enable hotspot, for example, there is a separate video for this. But I'll quickly go through it now so you can see. The hotspot settings, to get it working, it's pretty simple. You can see right here on the phone, when I move my finger, you'll see a little spinning wheel on hotspot. It means the phone doesn't know how to activate it. We don't block it on Celona LTE, it is enabled. You just got to make a couple of changes. So we go in here, and you can see we're on the APNs now. And all we need to do, because we don't actually challenge for a specific APN, but a lot of devices you need to have it in there in order for it to understand that it can use that path. So you can see here we're on the personal hotspot section. So you put default as the APN there, default as the APN in LTE setup, default as the APN for cellular data. There's no need to save anything. It saves when you exit. and you'll see in just a few moments we should see the personal hotspot become active. So all I'd need to do now is just turn this on. Now it's saved this from a previous config on my devices. I can just turn that on and I have a Wi-Fi hotspot with CBRS backhaul from this device. So again, sub $400. You can use it with any kind of apps you want that you may have in your enterprise, and it's an absolutely, you know, bang for buck. Honestly, I'm thinking of changing my iPhone 11 to iPhone SE because I'm missing the fingerprint. Sorry, Apple, with the new Face ID, until they can fix the issue with recognizing your face with a mask. It's made using that phone a little more problematic. So I'm seriously contemplating getting an SE myself. But just in general, in the market, we can see this being an extremely popular device. You know, high-end, it has the A13 Bionic chip, which is in the iPhone 11s. It has the same wireless capabilities as in the iPhone 11s, which means it supports Wi-Fi through to 802.11ax. It has lots of support for the different LTE bands, so lots of support going forwards for CBRS, not just for CBRS, but in other bands as well, from other carriers. So we can see this being equipped dual SIM. It has eSIM support as well, so you could put your AT&T, Verizon, whoever you're using on the eSIM, and add the Celona physical SIM, and you've got roaming in and out of your building, in and out of your areas, with full coverage for your staff. And when they're on premise, they're getting a private LTE experience. So fantastic phone, as I say. All we need to do to get it on the Celona private mobile network is put a SIM in it. That's it. Pretty cool. If you have any questions about any of the devices we test, anything to do with the Celona network, hit us up on celona.io. We're also pretty active on Twitter. You can find us on LinkedIn as well. On our YouTube channel, you'll see there's a whole bunch of different playlist videos. There's an excellent set of videos from Andrew Von Nage, who's on the team, and he did an excellent deep dive on CBRS technology, which if you're a Wi-Fi engineer, it's absolutely tailored for you. So go check that out. That's on our Celona, Team Celona YouTube channel, full set, 5 hours of training. You know, don't miss it. It's a really great thing to check out. And then in my own channel, JR's Lab, you've got all the different device tests, gateways. So you'll see things from me where I'm testing Cradlepoint, where I'm testing iPhones, I could be testing Sierra, USB dongles, all kinds of stuff. So do check us out. If you've got any questions, anything you'd like us to test or anything you'd like us to cover, let us know. But for now, that's it for today. iPhone SE on Celona CBRS. Absolute winner.